position in American sports feels the pressure or the weight on their shoulders like a quarterback. Hopes and dreams of an entire fan base of teams ride on whether their signal caller can lead them to glory. And boy, what a matchup of two elite dudes we have in this one. Welcome to Austin, Texas, and DKR, home of the Texas Longhorns. As we'll see a squad from the SEC, the Alabama Crimson Tide, taking on one of the top 5 teams in the conference, the Texas Longhorns. For EA Sports College Football, Reese Davis with you alongside David Pollack and Jesse Palmer. Time to get this game started. Alabama about to kick off to get this game underway. The ball bounces through the end zone, and it will be a touchback. Leaves it with the back. Powers through the defender. Didn't get much done on that run. He'll fight his way out and maybe pick up a yard. Guys, when you really take a look at Texas, it has been a season to forget, and honesty compels us to say changes are probably coming.
I'm not sure, but I think Reese Davis just fired a coach. Is that what I heard? I'm pretty sure that's what just happened. Listen, hasn't gone well. You've heard the outside noise continuing to get louder and louder. Haven't met expectations. And this is the business we live in college sports, when you get paid a lot of money to do a job and you don't perform.
Listen, at the end of the day in college football, it's results-oriented. They've lost football games this year, and so all signs right now pointing to them potentially making that change before next season. If they're going to stay competitive and they're going to field the best team and program possible heading into next year, then it looks as though a change is inevitable here.
Back to pass. It's complete on the right side. They make the stop, trying to pick up just a little bit at a time to get to that first down marker.
How nice is it in this offense to have your best receiver playing in the slot? You're matching him up against linebackers, against safeties, or nickel corners. Nickel corners are oftentimes the defense's third best cornerback. This guy is virtually uncoverable.
Out of the shotgun on third down. Got out of trouble and throws. Can't make the connection on third down thanks to that tough, hard-nosed pass defense, and now it's fourth down.
The hardest thing to do in football is to play on the road. So you want to get those fans as quiet as possible. That is a great opening possession for this defense, not giving up any big plays and forcing the fourth down.
Wants to return it. He only needs a sliver of daylight. Well, they finally stop him, but he found some running room on that return and really helps out his offense to start this drive. This place is roaring, and it's going to be so hard to operate under these conditions. Takes the handoff, and Soto. He is going nowhere. Stop at the line of scrimmage.
Well, they want to come out and try to get the run game established, but up front defensively, they made a play. They gave up nothing to them.
Got to find some breathing room if you're going to establish yourself on the ground, and there wasn't any that time.
Yeah, Reese, I wonder now if this offense is maybe going to try to get to the perimeter of the field and see if they can use their speed to hurt this defense.
During the week, you got to talk to your quarterback. Quarterback, what do you like? What's your favorite, safest routes, easiest reads? Love coming out with those early with the short passing game.
Wants to throw on third down. Caught near the sticks. It's Driver. They've got it inside the 30. They'll mark it at the 28. It's first down.
And it's on third downs like this. If you want to attack the middle of the field, you got to look for the tight end. Really nice route. Great job looking that football in. You can tell this quarterback really has a lot of confidence when he's in the pocket looking for the big fella, and they're able to hook up there.
They'll run it to the right. Knocked down after a gain of 1 to the 27.
Run game is good. Balance is good. Now listen, if the run game isn't good, then you got to pass the football a little bit more. But sometimes you got to keep them honest, take them chunk by chunk.
This crowd going to try to make life miserable for these guys. Back to pass on second down. They're working that left side. And the defense settled in to stop that one for a short gain. DKR heating up and trying to make third down impossible here. From the gun, wants to pass. Looking to the big tight end. He's picked off and he's thrown a dozen of them.
You know, quarterbacks cannot stare down receivers, especially when thrown over the middle of the field. You've got to look these safeties off. That was going to be a small window to throw into anyway, but staring at that wide receiver made the safety's job so much easier.
Here comes the Texas offense. They went 3 and out on their first possession, now to see if they can be more productive this time around. Dumps it off in the flats.
What's important in this game, this offense gets the running back involved out in the perimeter in space where you can do some damage. That time they got it to him throwing the football. He picked up a couple of yards, but it gives the defense something to think about.
The Longhorns with a second and short to keep this drive moving. Motion from the wideout. Looking to fire. Here's a heat. And he was hit just as he released it, and it falls to the turf.
This offensive line's got to do a better job. I mean, he doesn't even have time to go through his progressions. You got to give your QB some time. You got to make him feel comfortable. They didn't. They got in there quick, fast, and in a hurry.
And the Longhorns come to the line on third and short, trying to keep the drive alive. Shotgun snap, wants to throw it on third. Fires to the wideout. Makes the grab. He gets those chains moving, gets it out to the 42-yard line. This dude is just exceptional in every facet. So fluid, such a great route runner, and a big play there.
And money down, third down, find him. I mean, you want to find that matchup because he's going to win. And gets a good release, gets down the field. You see that's your playmaker, that's your guy. Get it to him, get the first down.
Nice pickup on the ground there. They'll move the sticks with the first down.
Well, obviously the offense went 3 and out on their last drive. They're having a little bit more success here. That was a nice run, and I think that's the key, guys. If they're able to run the football, they're going to be able to stay on the field. And I think that's something you want to think more about if you're the play caller on offense.
Off the play fake on first down to throw. Wide open downfield. Not a big window, and that throw was money. They've got it at the 30. Hookham is hooking up with some big plays in the passing game.
Finding their guys down the field. You think about offenses that Texas usually have, some form of spread, and then find those elite guys on the outside that can win those matchups for you and make those big plays.
Got his man. Makes the grab, and not quite enough for the first down, but a good gain on that play.
One of the things you love about this running back is not only can he run between the tackles, but he's also a weapon in this offense catching the football.
The Longhorns can really attack on this second and short.
221 wing, 221 wing. Let's go.
They'll keep it on the ground. All down, but they'll move the sticks as he picks up the first down.
It's really nice to see this offense bounce back. That first possession, man, they go 3 and out. They really struggled, and now starting to put a drive together, get their feet a little bit wet. Now you can see they're starting to get pretty comfortable.
As they get set to snap it, time winding down here in the quarter.
6 per main, 6 per main.
It's been a defensive battle through the first period, and the stats tell that tale. Let's see if the offenses can find a little rhythm as we start the second quarter. First play of the period, first down here. Looking downfield on first down. Out of the backfield, he's open. They'll get it down to the 10-yard line on that completion.
Yeah, and you see running backs in today's football, they play wide receiver basically for you, but you got to find a guy that you can throw it to, and you know he's going to catch the ball consistently.
Looking for a chunk play on second and short. Touchdown, Longhorn! Fitted in the window for the score.
Can't start a game any better than that. Defense gets the stop, gives it back to the offense. You march down the field, you score. They're in a great rhythm now on both sides of the ball.
And the extra point makes it 7-0. And for a quick update, let's go to Kevin Connors in the studio.
All right, guys, a little update on what else is happening in college football this weekend. Minnesota is ahead right now in Minneapolis, but that's not exactly Bronco Nagurski out there controlling the game. This one is a long way from being over. They're up by 7 over Iowa State. We'll circle back if anything big happens you need to know about.
Oh, and how about that? I know Kevin and those guys will be keeping an eye on it for us. The Tide offense rolls onto the field. They're looking for something, looking for anything to try to put some kind of score on the board, down 7-0.
This offense has really struggled, and I think you're just waiting for one play, one explosive play to happen to hopefully galvanize you a bit offensively. That's not the case in there. They try to run the football in the first play of the drive, and it gets absolutely blown up for a loss.
He'll get it up to about the 32-yard line before he's stopped, and it'll be first down. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs.
And that's why for the offensive coordinator, you've got to find as many ways as possible to get this guy going. Just get him the ball close to the line of scrimmage. Doesn't need to be a throw deep down the field. He's so dynamic when he has the ball in his hands. You saw it right there.
And a good job in coverage there as they stop it after just a few.
Man, it's so important when you play QB. I got to know when to put some air on it, and I got to know when to rocket that thing in there. Working the middle of the field, he knew he needed to rock it, threw it in there. Great job, great catch.
Motion from the back. To the air on second down. Makes the grab on the left. And he's brought down after a nice gain. That big pickup on what they call the drag route, but if you hit it on time, you can hit the turbo boosters.
And you've got to be accurate on the throw too, Reese. Nice job by the QB there, putting it out in front of his receiver to make an easy catch and then advance it.
They'll move the tight end. On the move, it's Soto.
That's a really good job by the defense. Wrapping them up, getting them on the ground. Take away that run game. Make them one-dimensional, put them in passing situations. Really good job by the defense.
Picked up 2 yards on that last one. They need 8 on second down. Wants to go up top. Throws to the wideout. Complete to the right. Good, solid pickup there. Now they can start to smell it with a first down at the 31.
Well, it wasn't a great start for this quarterback, but on this drive, he seems to be turning the corner. He just looks like he's playing in a different rhythm. He's seeing the field better. It's almost as if the game is starting to slow down for him. I think on that last completion, it was a good example of it.
Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. They've got a solid drive working, but now looking at second and 11. Back to pass. Pressure coming. That's caught. It's Driver. He's really close to that first down marker, but they stop him just a bit short.
This is why he's the quarterback leading his team, because he can do things like that, the unscripted stuff, and buy time, scramble outside the pocket, complete the pass down the field. Just so hard to stop as opposed to a guy that just stands in the pocket and you know exactly where he's going to be every single play.
They've got it just outside the red zone. They'll move the chains. It's at the 21. Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. The Tide with the 1st and 10. Wide receiver going in motion. Off play action on 1st down. Fires to the tight end. That one takes it down to the 13-yard line. Down to 2 minutes to play. We'll take the timeout. They'll talk it over. A chance to tie or even take the lead before the break. Going to work on 2nd down in the red zone, and still some ground to cover to pick up that 1st down. Wide receiver comes in motion. DB's right up on the receiver. Out of the shotgun, they go to the ground. And he'll step into the end zone. Touchdown Tide!
This has been a back-and-forth battle with a lot of football left to go. Really nice job executing on that rushing touchdown. If they get this extra point, this thing is all tied up.
And the extra point was good to finish things off. It bounds through the back of the end zone. It'll be a touchback. Plenty of time to work, not any time to waste as they take over here in the final 2 minutes of the half. Wants to go up top on 1st down. Zings it complete to the right. Able to scrounge 3 yards out of that one somehow. It's 2nd and 7. You know, sometimes even a short game like that can be used to set up something bigger later on.
No doubt, Reese, they can pump that and take a shot down the field. And don't worry, they're going to go back to that same play because they know this guy with the ball in his hands is
turning it on. And he'll pick up the 1st down, but he got drilled on that tackle.
I tell you, this slot receiver, he really does give his quarterback a nice option. Runs really good routes. He's got nice hands, and you saw it on that last play.
Wants to throw on 1st down. Hit hard just as he released it on 1st down and just couldn't get it to the receiver.
Well, tip your hat to the defense getting that incompletion because that hasn't happened often for this guy. Completed over 70% of his throws last week. He's doing it again in this game. Can the defense continue to mix things up? See if they can maybe confuse this QB.
Misfired on 1st down, back to the air on 2nd. Here's the shuffle pass, it's complete. Couldn't ask for much more there. A 1st down, and they're down to the 42. I wonder a lot of times why teams don't run this route more often. It's an impossible matchup for the defense.
Linebacker on running back, I'm going to lose that matchup a lot, but a nice job by the running back selling to the flats just enough to get that inside space to open up, make the catch, and start getting down the field.
Fires to the big fella. He stopped at the 32, picks up 10 on the play and gets the 1st down. No reason to panic when you see those extra bodies coming. Just find the big tight end.
Well, and the great ones do that. I think the great ones are okay. You want to blitz? I know my answers. I'm all right. I'll stay patient. Find the matchup. This time it was the tight end. Finds the tight end, throws a strike, gets the 1st down.
The hurry up now. 2nd down. Clock ticking. Looking to fire. He let that thing fly quickly, but he couldn't make the connection.
The offense just has not been able to find a way to get their rhythm going here in the 1st half. We just haven't seen it in the passing game. That was a really good example of it again. If they're going to score more points in the 2nd half, they've got to make some adjustments here at halftime.
It's a makeable field goal from the 29-yard line. Let's see how aggressive they are on 3rd and long. Finds his man down the middle. He's going to come up a couple of yards short of the 1st down. The offense will have to use its 1st timeout of the half. On fourth down, they could boot the field goal, but looks as if they'll go for it. He'll try to throw and pick up the first down. Couldn't find his man, and they'll give up the football on downs.
Love the coverage on defense there. Fourth down, they're ready for the pass. And you saw in the back end, great job being in position to make that play. And now their offense is coming on the field.
An unforced error there. They don't get the snap off in time. That is a completely avoidable penalty. The quarterback just went into brain lock and lost track of the play clock. Quarterback by himself in the backfield. He's looking to pass. All kinds of room to throw that one in there. And he gets it to the 44-yard line. It'll be a first down. Alabama quickly back to the line. Looking to throw on first down. Got it in the middle. It's Soto. The offense calls a timeout to stop the clock.
Guys out of the backfield now, it's not just run the ball downhill anymore. You got to be versatile. I got to be able to trust you in the pass game, and I got to be able to throw you the football. You can do that right there. I know you're going to catch it, and I can depend on it.
Wants to throw. He's working against the clock. Here comes the heat. He's going to run it. Inside the 40. Across the 25, he's got room. No, I thought he was taking that all the way, but they stop him at the 7. They'll use a timeout right before halftime. Maybe time for one or two more plays. Running out of time here in the first half. They're going to have to be efficient to put some points on the board before the break. Here's the snap, looking to throw. And the ball comes out. What a disastrous play. Oh, the fumble on the defense got it. At the 30. He's at the 10. Going the other way, and he takes it all the way back. What a way to finish the half, and what a disastrous way for this offense.
And just when you thought this half was going to end ho-hum, the offense coughs it up, and the defense is able to not only recover the fumble, but they take it back for a touchdown. They steal more points before heading in at halftime.
We played 2 quarters here. Time to go to Kevin Connors in our halftime update. And the Longhorns will try to kick this one deep to get things underway in the second half. And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. productive that passing game was in the first half.
It's interesting. If I'm the defense and I've got the lead, they've had success throwing the football, but we're winning. I don't know that this defense changes too much of what they've done in the first half.
I think they got to do a better job with pass rush. They might want to change their coverages as well because they're probably at this point expecting this offense to have to keep throwing, considering they did have success in the first half.
After picking up a couple at 2nd and 8. Wants to go up top. Working that left side now. Really good job to pick up a chunk of yardage and get it out to the 39-yard line.
You know, it's a nice throw by the QB there. When you're throwing to running backs, you got to make it easy on them. So you want to put it right on their body, make the catch simple, and let them go to work like they did just there, getting that first.
From the gun, they'll give it on the inside. Not much running room there thanks to this senior defender.
And I think this has probably been the most surprising thing of this game so far. This guy's one of the best running backs in the entire country. They just can't get him going. He's never been able to get into a rhythm. You got to give the defense so much credit because they have been able to shut this guy down. And they got to keep that up here in the second half.
They've got the screen set up. And he never had a chance. As soon as he caught it, the defense was right there.
They try to spit it out to the running back on the perimeter of the field. You saw the speed and recognition by the defense, though. How quickly they were able to get to the back and get him down for a big loss.
On 3rd and long, he'll need to loosen up that arm. Got him downfield. Major gaps in that defense, and he got loose, and they finally knock him down at the 41. This Alabama offense is clicking. They're set up with another first down. Looking to throw on first down. And he was drilled just as he released the pass. It's incomplete.
This is a top 25 defense, guys. One of the best units in the entire country. They're so good situationally, and they understand the importance of getting leads early, making the offense predictable, having to throw in these types of situations so they can adjust accordingly. And that's what they're doing right now. Their coverage is being dictated by the scoreboard. They're going to make it really, really hard on this quarterback here in the second half to throw any completions.
Horns up and ready to hook them. Serious noise on 3rd down in DKR. From the gun, wants to pass. And the missed connection on 3rd down. So they'll send out the field goal unit. This crowd trying to do its part to get inside the kicker's head. And the try is no good. After that miss, still a 7-point game, guys.
Hey, sometimes I just feel like 4th down, man. Just go for it every time. Like, the field goal miss, make great. And listen, kickers have improved the last couple of years, but left some points off the scoreboard there.
The Longhorns sending the offense back onto the field. They put together a pretty good drive the last time they had it, but that 4th down stop kept them from getting anything on the board. And there was nowhere to go, just stopped in his tracks in the backfield.
Defense is about seeing it and pulling the trigger, and you could tell they pull the trigger so fast, get to the back, get him on the ground quickly.
Not what they had in mind to start this drive. Here comes 2nd and 13. Back to pass. Fires it down the seam. And the pass is incomplete. Jarred loose by the hit.
Not many receivers like to get hit. They just don't, okay? They're prima donnas. That's what they are. That's who they are. Nice job by the defender. You could tell he was catching the football. He was going to put a hit on him to make sure he had to think about something later, and you could see the ball pop out and fall to the ground.
They've got to come up with a big play on this 3rd and long. Looking downfield, and he needs a bunch. And as he throws, another incompletion on third down.
Great job by the defense dialing up some pressure on third down. They hit the quarterback and forced the incompletion.
The Longhorns will try to pin them back with the punt. This will be the second time they've had to kick it away. Everybody stays in their lanes well enough, and they stop him at the 31-yard line. Opening snap of this drive comes from the 31-yard line. They'll send the back in motion. They'll come out on this drive and let it rip. Looking down the middle. He makes the catch. And it looked as if he might take that one all the way to the house. Just ran out of a little steam, and the defense finally got him. High-flying pass catchers and the Crimson Tide. That combination wasn't right at the top of your mind, say, 30 years ago.
No, it used to be run, run, more run, and you've seen over the years they've opened it up, the playbook, and they've brought in dudes. They've had some guys that can fly, and receivers winning Heisman trophies, like so many game breakers on the outside that make big plays in this offense.
And now on second down for this offense. He breaks a tackle. Not much running room there thanks to this senior defender.
You know, I really like this QB running the football because I know he's got a lot of speed, but he's not the biggest guy in the world. So he's not going to be able to break a lot of tackles. You really got to do a good job of trying to scheme ways to get him out in more space.
Third down play in the red zone, and this crowd is at fever pitch. Quarterback running on the draw. That play just got wrecked. 3rd and 1, and they went backwards. So the offense is going to go for it on 4th down. He'll try to throw and pick up the first down. Makes the catch, converts on 4th down, is still on his feet. Guys, it is Texas who holds the lead. Let's take a quick look at the national rankings to see how this playoff race is shaping up. When you're dealing with a deficit like this, it's all about somebody stepping up to make a play, and you might as well start here in the 4th quarter. They'll go back to work with a first down in the final period. They'll ride the running back and leave it with him. They get him stopped, but those feet kept moving until he was down to the 5.
How about that play by the speed back? We hear about speed backs, and he's not the guy that runs in between the tackles. But let me tell you something. When you're trying to catch a guy like that, and you're running full speed with everything you have, a lot of times you're just trying to get him to the ground, and you're not trying to put a good shot on him, and then all of a sudden they're breaking tackles. Great job by that young man.
Just feeds the running back. They get him on the ground at the 3-yard line, but this defense is taking some punches. Really need to pick up this conversion and avoid having to settle for the field goal. Quarterback touch pass on the jet sweep. And they will score. Touchdown, Crimson Tide. The extra point here would tie the game. And extra point was good, and we are all tied up in the fourth. And let's check in with Kevin Connors in the studio. Kevin?
All right, guys, a little update on what else is happening in college football this weekend. UConn is getting dominated today, and you know, the folks in stores deserve better than this. No excuse ever for this kind of a clunker. They're trailing by 14 to North Texas. We'll circle back if anything big happens you should know about.
And how about that one? Kevin will be keeping an eye on everything going on elsewhere. So now the Longhorns take over and they'll send out the offense. Here's the handoff. Defense in the right spot. They stop him after a gain of 2 to the 28.
And the defense doing a great job committing to the run. When you commit to the run like this, obviously you can give up some plays in the passing game, but you got to stop the run first.
Got 3 on first down. It's 2nd and 7. Might be changing the route. Second down, he'll throw it. He uncorks one deep. He's got it down the right side. And he'll ramble to the 34 before he's finally knocked down.
This tight end is such a weapon because he can line up all over the field. That time he starts in the slot. He's running the corner route against zone coverage. And he's just got athleticism and wiggle and the ability to separate and make big plays. It's so nice to have a target like that.
Off the play fake on first down. Oh, no, the ball popped out. Defense scoops it up, and he's headed the other way. They bring him down, but not only do they get the turnover, he picked up a chunk of yardage, too.
What a clutch stop for this defense. You get in the fourth quarter, you got to make those plays, get the ball back to your offense in a position now to go take the lead in this ballgame.
Guys, here comes that Alabama offense onto the field. They tied it up with a touchdown drive, got some good work from their defense, and now here in the fourth quarter, an opportunity to move on top. Really good job by everybody there. Well blocked, good run, and a first down.
I'll tell you, this defense and their front seven, they're going to have to play with great eye discipline because they know they are going to see this type of misdirection in their run game, and they got gashed there.
Keeps it on the bootleg, looking to throw. Pulled down at the 11-yard line as they inch closer and closer to pay dirt.
And this is the hard part about being on defense and choosing whether to be conservative or bring the blitz. They bring the blitz, he sees it, and that's what he does really well. Sees it and immediately makes a decision, gets to some green grass, and gets a positive gain for this offense.
Second down coming up in this red zone opportunity. They'll try the run. He's tackled right at the 10-yard line, and they're trying to cash in on this drive.
The big fella in the middle, man. Those defensive tackles, they go such a long way in deciding and really stopping the other team's run game. Just forcing contact with those guards and those centers, owning the line of scrimmage, and getting running backs on the ground.
Tight quarters deep in the red zone, but they can pick up a first down without scoring. Third down. They'll try to run for it. Touchdown, Bama! They've got the lead here in the fourth.
Love the play call. Love the execution. Late in the game with less than 2 minutes to go, they now take a touchdown lead and put so much pressure on the opposition in a 2-minute situation.
The extra point is good, and now in the fourth, they're up by a touchdown and an extra point. That one bounds through the end zone, and it'll be a touchback. The drive starts from their own 25-yard line. To the air on first down. got rid of it in a hurry, but he couldn't find his man. It's incomplete. Let's take just a moment here and talk a little about Texas. He's been under pressure all season, and they really haven't done much to turn down that heat. And it's just hard to imagine that this guy will be back leading this program next year.
Yeah, and you want to see him finish strong, and I think Coach needs to finish strong. All the negativity swirling around the program, obviously, you hear it. It's a part of it. The kids hear it, but finishing strong would kind of ease some of that. But Palmer, it's the body of work. Everything he did this season is going to be taken into account. It's going to be tough, I think, for him to keep his job.
It's a combination of wins and losses this year, but it's also about who's out there. There's some good big-time candidates, some good coaches that could come in. We know they've got the money to spend. It just seems like they're going to make a change.
Unloads to the wideout. Grabbed in the middle. It's Connors. Good pick up there. They'll move the chains, and they're set up at the 41.
When these wide receivers work the middle of the field, so much of this is feel. Understanding where the holes are in the zone or understanding how to get leverage on a man. And these wide receivers are dangerous nowadays because they do it so fast and see that so quick and make those plays over the middle.
The sure hands, it's Connors. He's brought down quickly. Minimal gain there, still a bit short of the first down.
You just get the feeling this defense is going to make it hard on them, right? They've got the lead, it's late, and they're going to try to tackle everybody inbounds. Offense is going to have to really work for this and be smart. You got to attack the sidelines. You got to throw first downs. You got to keep this thing moving vertically down the field.
Got his man downfield. And a big hit at the end, but it didn't stop him from getting the first down. They'll hurry to the line with the clock still running. From the red zone, looking for a receiver. A little screen to the running back. They'll get it down to the 10-yard line on that completion.
And he didn't get a big gain. You want to call that play and probably want to get more yards, but you could tell that was super close from seriously busting loose. Nice job running the screen, getting the ball to your playmaker. If he could just make one more guy miss, that might have been huge.
Got his man. They'll get it down to the 8-yard line on that throw and catch, and the defense is backed up against the wall. Offense takes a timeout. 27 seconds left. The terrain gets rough this deep in the red zone. Third down. They can't pick up the first without scoring. They'll try to get it through the air. Had nowhere to go with that one. Had to just throw it away. A wise decision to keep the field goal in play.
What a fantastic job by the defense that time, forcing the incompletion. They've got the lead late, setting up fourth down. Can they come up with one more stop? If they get it, they might win this game.
Will not get there. A fourth down stop.
I like it. This defense plays aggressive on fourth and short, and they are rewarded. Figured they would run the football. They did. Nice job getting some penetration and stopping that fourth down play.
They are backed up, tough field position. The drive starts from their own 9-yard line. They think they can create space here with a run to the right. He's going to lose a yard on that one. Guys, let's chat about Alabama. A nice way to go into the postseason and eventually the offseason with a W, but the question is, will it be enough to keep the Wolves at bay?
It's a great way to punctuate the season. You just have to wonder, though, if there were too many L's on the schedule to keep this guy around next year.
Yeah, I mean, it's the whole body of work, right? You finish strong, but what does everybody look at? Like, how many